Hello and a very warm welcome. You've joined us live from the great city of Atlanta for Week 4 of the Simulation Football League's 12th season. Today, the Season 9 champion and Season 11 semifinalist Mexico City Aztecs make the long journey to the eastern seaboard to take on an Atlanta Swarm team who picked up their first win of the season 1 week ago. Two of the longest tenured SFL franchises get ready to do battle Sunday night in primetime on YouTube and simulcasting live to the Twitch front page via SFL Blitz Live. Hello, I'm your play-by-play commentator Michael Churillo, joined in the booth on this momentous occasion by Levant Mercer. Levant, great game tonight between two of the league's oldest teams.
I hope it will be. It's great to be here with you once again.
We're down to the field for the coin toss, just seeing who will take command of the ball first in this ball game. And it looks like the Aztecs will kick the ball away first. And let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube, and as we get back to live pictures from the Hive, Mexico City's going to be getting the ball first. The kicker for Atlanta has the ball on the tee. That's Alex Kidd. He's got his hand in the air. The whistle goes, and it's game on from the Hive down south here at Atlanta. The return comes through. Return up to the 29-yard line. That's Jeffrey Daggs on the return for the Mexico City Aztecs. And let's go through the Mexico City offense. The quarterback is Hall of Famer number 12, Matt Wilson. The running back is Ray Bentley. The wide receivers are K.L. Barrett and Richard Montague. The tight end is Mike Daggs. And from a first down position, 1st and 10 at the Mexico City 29. For the first play from scrimmage of the game, Wilson takes the snap, looks, throws short. That's Bentley on the catch, and he'll pick up 5 yards on first down. Levant, what do you think that the Mexico City offense needs to do to rebound from a pretty poor showing last week?
I think one of those things against Atlanta that they have to really watch out for is the strength of their linebacking core. Quantas Shine likes to range box to box across the midfield here, and he will be a danger for them.
Bentley hit in the hole and dropped only a gain of 1 on the play. Big tackles there. Jose Fuentes was there, along with Shaq Barnett. Let's go through the stars for the Atlanta Swarm. On defense, after this play, I'll get to it, this 3rd down and 4. Wilson, short drop to throw, looks, throws underneath, and is not going to get there. Mike Daggs is going to be a yard short, and I will hold off on going over the Atlanta defense until we next see them on the field, because out comes the punting unit for Mexico City, led by Alex Lopez.
That's one of the things I was getting to. If they can't get their medium passing plays going because the linebackers are just so stout, that core is very strong. If they can't get Bentley or Wilson going in the middle, it's going to be hard to pass.
Lopez punts it away from his own 37-yard line. Returned by Atlanta, not going very far, only up to the 30. Returned there by Jason Hunt, the wide receiver. Here's the Atlanta Stars. On the offensive side of the football, their quarterback is Marcus Dunhill. The running back is BDG Hollywood. Wide receivers Siege Falco and Boo Chisholm. Tight end is the first-round draft pick Jamal Wooding. And Dunhill under center. I formation behind him. 2 receivers left on 1st and 10 from their own 30, going left to right across your radio dial in the first quarter. Handoff BDG Hollywood, and it takes 2 players to bring him down. It'll pick up 5 yards.
One of the keys for Atlanta will be finally getting VDG Hollywood going. The running back is a very important piece of keeping your quarterback safe. Generally, because if you can run the ball, it makes it easier to pass the ball.
Offset eye on 2nd and 5. One receiver each side. Strong side handoff to Hollywood. He's got a first down and more out to the 42-yard line. So 2 carries and 11 yards so far for Hollywood, who still does not have a rushing touchdown so far this season. And when I was doing my research for this game, Levant, and saw that stat, I thought it was a typo.
I really would have thought so too, but that seems to be the case.
3 wideouts, 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 42. This will be the first pass for Dunhill. Pressure coming. He gets it outside arm into the middle of the field and across midfield and down to the opposing 38-yard line. First catch of the day for Boo Chisholm. He's their go-to receiver out there, and he makes a big catch on the first play.
Another dangerous weapon for Atlanta's Boo Chisholm coming up across the middle here. He just had an easy pass there to catch because no one was around him.
Here's the stars for the Mexico City defense. The safeties are Pablo Zamora, Nick Daggs, and Jeffrey Daggs. The corners are Han Tayumi and Fran Agawa, and the linebacker is Jack Brown. 4 wide, nobody in the backfield. 1st and 10 for the Mexico City 8. A very efficient drive for Dunhill, but he's under pressure. Gets the pass away as he was being hit and throws it out of bounds. It was caught by Siege Falco, but he could not get the feet in bounds. 2nd down and 10.
I feel like that's a vast improvement from the first 2 weeks where he would be under pressure and then throw into deep coverage. This time he has the intelligence this time to throw the ball away, whether it was caught out of bounds or not. It's better than what he had been doing before.
4 wide, again, nobody in the backfield. 4-man rush for Mexico City. Atlanta going deep, but it's knocked away. It was intended for Siege Falco, and Han Tayumi, the rookie cornerback, says no thank you. And Daggs and Falco getting into it a little bit after the play.
It just seems like what occurred there was that he just threw it a little underneath and threw it right at the coverage, the soft cover 2 that was set there. Just had a good read on it and batted the ball away.
Important 3rd and 10 here, right at the edge of field goal range from the Mexico City 38, 5 wide. Dunhill takes the snap, back to pass, plenty of time, throws to the near side. It's caught at a 1st down to the 21-yard line. They tried to go to Siege Falco twice with no success, and on the 3rd time, he hits his mark.
This is why they call it siege and destroy right here on 3rd down. It's what you need to do to take the possession into the red zone.
Just on the edge of the red zone at the 21-yard line, and it just showed a little bit of the speed of Siege Falco there, ran away from both Han Tayumi and Nick Daggs in coverage, and they'll go back to a little bit of a more standard formation here. 1st and 10 at the 21. A receiver each side, Hollywood in the backfield. Dunhill back to throw, goes over the middle into the soft zone. 1st down and breaking a tackle and grabbing the 1st down to the 9-yard line. Great play there. Big play by Todd Crott, the tight end. Or Todd Knott, I should say.
Well, he definitely had the defense in knots there, jumping over a defender, making him look silly out there.
Still a very efficient drive for Atlanta. Only 1 3rd down faced and converted on this drive so far. From the Mexico City 9-yard line, 1st and goal. Dunhill pressured, steps into the pocket, throws to the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. It was that man again that knocked it away. Jack Brown actually getting his first involvement as I mess up some numbers.
Let's just see right here. Just once again undersells his receiver and just throws it right into the teeth of the coverage right there.
Looking for Falco again, and that's what you want out of a player like Jack Brown, an all-star championship linebacker. They need to be able to cover the pass as well, and he did that one brilliantly. 2nd and goal from the Mexico City 9. Dunhill changes the play. Heavy set left side, but he's going to pass. Dunhill throws far side, pass complete to Boo Chisholm, and he'll only get 3 yards down to the 6-yard line before he is run out of bounds by Fran Ogawa, who makes his first tackle of the game.
Well, when you invest in tight ends like they do, you do know that all these heavy sets can now be thrown out of. So Mexico City's really got to watch whether they're going to come with the run or the pass when they set up in the Maryland eye like that.
Can the Mexico City defense hold in the red zone? 3rd down and goal from the 6. 6.5 minutes to play, 1st quarter. Dunhill with 3 receivers left, single right, gonna hand it off to Hollywood, who spins and gets down to the 2. He could not get it in the end zone. It was a big tackle right on the goal line by Jeffrey. Oh, no, he's in. What?
Hey, the glory of forward progress. The glory of forward progress. You wasn't going to deny him from his first touchdown of the season. He'll have none of that. Right into their end zone. Touchdown.
In real time, it did not look like he crossed the plane, but the referees throw their hands in the air, and as I thought, we are going to have a Harry's close shave, close call challenge, so let's take a look. And let's see here, Hollywood looking for his first touchdown of the season.
The ball seems to be short. The ball seems to be a yard short, so the original call.
That's why I thought he didn't make it in, because he spun and then got tackled, and Ramos Lynn has a successful challenge. Hollywood denied his first touchdown of the season. Great goal line tackle by Jeffrey Daggs, the free safety. And now, from inside the 2-yard line, the Atlanta Swarm are going to have to settle for a field goal. Alex Kidd on to attempt the chip shot. And it is up and right down Main Street. Field goal good from Kidd. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to go, first quarter. Atlanta 3, Mexico City nothing. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube and also Twitch. And the SFL is presented by Harry's. From shave sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, we make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SIMULATIONFL at purchase from Harrys.com, and a portion of your purchase supports the SFL, Harry's official razor of the Simulation Football League. And even though they didn't get the touchdown, they only got 3 points. A very promising drive early in the game from the Atlanta offense. As Mexico City takes the ball again at their own 29-yard line, looking to do a little bit better than they did on their first drive. Wilson in the gun, Bentley alongside him, takes a low snap, plenty of time in the pocket, throws to the near sideline, it's tipped and incomplete. Fantastic solo play out there by Patrick Ketza, and since I haven't done so yet, here is the star players to watch out for on the Atlanta defense. The safeties are Aaron Lee and Josh Vasquez. The corners are Patrick Ketza and Lipado. Linebackers Jose Fuentes, Aquantis Scheid, and Joshua Williams. So second down and 10 from the Mexico City 29-yard line. One receiver each side, Bentley in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Bentley up the middle, and he's going to try to get somewhere. And he only gets 3 yards before he's brought down by a host of blue jerseys.
Well, for Atlanta, that's one of those key players for them to have to contain. If they can keep Bentley under 70 yards, that would be a win for them.
3rd and 7, so second straight drive for Mexico City where they're in a hole early. Wilson looking, throwing down the middle, jump ball. Oh, what a catch! Just past midfield to the Atlanta 48, Mike Daggs. Tight ends do matter, and it's a first down and a big chunk of yardage for Mexico City.
Well, when you have the Bronze Bomber throwing balls at you, like, look at this. It put him in a very dangerous position, but hey, when the ball is going to come in as safely as that, you know Daggs is good to make the catch.
I remember being on the... I'll get to my point after this 1st and 10 play from the Atlanta 48-yard line. Handoff, Bentley up the middle, breaks one tackle and takes a 3rd man in the order to bring him down. And that man was Jose Fuentes, the linebacker. And so my point was, I was on the broadcast team for the draft with Mike Daggs, and, you know, one of his lines was, you know, tight ends matter and everything. But we're really seeing it this season across the entire league. A lot of teams are running more tight end packages. 2nd down and 4. Handoff, Bentley. Big hole up the middle, and he's going to get a first down easily up to the Atlanta 34.
And there's quite a lot of teams that are now having these packages installed into their playbooks because of, let's look at how Mexico City employed it here. Every set, you know you're going to good run from it. It allows Bentley to just get through if the holes are made. Tight ends usually help make those holes. And you can usually protect the quarterback with them, and they can sometimes catch passes.
The jack-of-all-trades offensive player, the tight end. And 1st and 10 for Mexico City, responding with a good drive of their own to Mexico City's good drive. And Wilson, pressure in his face, gets the pass away, and it's caught on the far sideline, down to the Atlanta 17-yard line. Big catch out there. Richard Montague makes his first grab of the day.
You know, Richard Miracle Montague has this thing for catches like this because, you know, in situations where Mexico City needs some assistance, he's good to make these picturesque catches.
That's been a staple of Matt Wilson and the Mexico City receivers basically since I've joined this league back in late season 8. He trusts his receivers to make plays, and he'll throw the one-on-one balls out there. And time after time, the Mexico City receivers make plays. There's a little dink out right across the middle. That's to the tight end, Diego Chavarro, and just a little 3-yard gain on a play that was otherwise going nowhere.
Well, sometimes on those types of plays, you would just like to have a positive outcome. Whether it's just 2 yards or 3, it's better than nothing. It puts you close to second and medium.
Mexico City in the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone for their first time this evening. Wilson doesn't like the defensive matchup, changes the play. He's got a receiver each side. Bentley the backfield and a jump, a free play for the offense, and Bentley would have gotten 1 yard, but they're going to turn this one into 5.
You know, before the play, you could see that there was a bit of a change in the cadence.
That was a MeUndies laundry on the field for the first time in this game. It was a jump off sides from Bennett. Or Barrett. Apologies for that. So now it's 2nd and 2. Inside the 10 at the Atlanta 8-yard line. Let's see if the Swarm defense can hold in the red zone, just like the Mexico City defense did on the last series. Wilson, lob to the end zone. It's intercepted. They say, hey, you held us to a field goal. We'll do you one better. Patrick Ketsa with the interception. It was tipped in the air by Josh Vasquez in the end zone. And Patrick Ketsa says, I'll take that any day of the week.
Man, he threw to the highest point receiver he can try to find and just couldn't get there. There's too many Atlanta members of the defense there.
Now Atlanta, here's Hollywood after feeling a little bit hard done on that last drive, gets 5 yards on first down, and MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/simulationFL for 50% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL via our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. 2nd down and 5. Dunhill under pressure. Oh, what an athletic move to evade the rush, but he can't get away from the dogged defender that finally brought him down for the sack, and that defender's name is Moises Avila.
Well, you just see Avila just being a free runner on that play. He wasn't really protected against, and even if you can evade the pass, if you're not able to get the ball out, you're going to get hit because he's still a free runner with no support.
3rd and 9, 4 wide. Dunhill alone in the shotgun. 4-man rush for Mexico City. Oh, he was under pressure, but he got the pass away, and it's complete at a first down. All the way up to the Atlanta 33-yard line. Todd Knott makes his 2nd catch of the day. And the Atlanta Swarm from no man's land pick up a first down.
They're gonna give credit to Ogawa for a hard hit, but let's be honest. The real credit on that play goes to Marcus Dunhill for evading the pressure a 2nd time and getting the ball out.
Offset eye, single receiver each side. 1:25 to go first quarter. This first quarter's flowing by, and it's because of runs like this one from Hollywood. That's his third first down carry for 5 yards plus, and he's already up to 27 yards on the game so far.
He's already averaging 5.4 yards a carry. That's great for field position.
It's not about the field position, it's about what you do with it. And so far, Atlanta are also winning that battle, up 3-0 here late in the first quarter. Dunhill, 7-step drop, pressure in his face. He steps up in the pocket. He evades another sack. He gets the pass away. Oh, it's caught out of bounds. Siege Falco could not tap the toes, but what a move by Marcus Dunhill, putting on the dancing shoes.
You really got to admire the pocket presence he has there. He keeps plays alive with his footwork, and that's something that he didn't have the first couple of weeks of the season, but now he's getting a bit of a rhythm, and he's really getting plays rolling.
Second straight third down and 5 from the 38-yard line. This time they'll hand it off to Hollywood, and he's stuffed right at the line. They'll say he gains a yard, and that's being very generous. Big tackles on the play by Maurizio Zita and company. Powers was also in there. And we talk about, players that are not really star players. They're not really renowned, but they still make contributions to their team week in, week out. Maurizio Zita has got to be one of those players.
He's been
Sorry about that. I'll let you carry on just after this play. The punt is away, returned by Dags, and it'll take it up to the 27-yard line. Continue, please.
One of the mainstays of Mexico City's front seven, Mauricio Zeta, for the past couple of seasons, has, contributed with a couple of key sacks for them here and there, including one in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago.
Known as the Zeta virus is his nickname, so maybe we'll call his number a little bit more as the night goes on. 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter. This will be the final play. Is a 1st and 10 for the Mexico City 27. It's a handoff. Ray Bentley running right side, makes one man miss and only gets 2 yards, and that'll bring us to the end of this evening's first quarter. High yardage, but low scoring. The Swarm lead the Aztecs 3-0. This is the Simulation Football League, live on YouTube and Twitch via SFL Blitz Live. Stay with us. Michael Trillo, Levant Mercer, live here from Atlanta, Georgia, in the heart of the Peach State. On a beautiful Sunday night in prime time. 2nd and 8 for Mexico City from their own 29-yard line, going left to right in the second quarter. Pass away, and it was almost picked off again. It was deflected away out there by Jose Fuentes, who's had a couple of knockdowns so far, and it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Now, the past couple of seasons, you started to see a slight uptick in the number of coverage linebackers that have been employed by teams over the seasons, and they're key in keeping those medium plays from going anywhere.
Big down right here. 3rd and 8 from the 29-yard line. Wilson steps back, plenty of time in the pocket, throws out to the far side, caught, and turning up the field is K.L. Barrett. Haven't called his name yet tonight, but he makes an impact and gets a first down up near midfield to the 44.
And when you have quarterbacks like Matt Wilson, you know you're going to go to the pass often. So that's probably why they've been employed. But, sometimes he just outskills you with that one. He sees that his receiver is a couple steps ahead of the play, and he just zips it over to K.L. Barrett for the first down.
And I want to bring special attention to K.L. Barrett and how he dug his left foot in the ground and turned upfield. A lot of receivers in this league would have just walked out of bounds, been happy with the first down, but he wanted the yards as Matt Wilson on 1st and 10 goes to and gets 5 yards to the tight end. Richard Montague, the wide receiver.
It's just your typical bench switch play. You have 2 outs, short and then 2 deep. That time he saw nothing deep, so he threw it to one of his check down progressions there in Montague.
Solid play on 1st down. Wilson right down the middle to Montague again. Across midfield into Atlanta territory and down to the 40-yard line.
Oh, it seems like Mexico City's just going to different types of route trees, progressions to try to confuse the Atlanta defense just to make sure that they're never in the right zone. If you can make the defense wrong every time, you should be right.
2 receivers left, single right. 1st and 10 Wilson just going to drop it off to Bentley with some room to run, and he'll get 5 yards on first down. Eventually dropped down there. Tackle made by Darren Williams. As Bentley gets up and hops back to the huddle.
You know, we used to bemoan the use of swing plays, but as Sioux Falls has shown, those plays can be effective, and with Mexico City having Ray Bentley back there, you know he's good for powering through some people.
Wilson going long! Oh, one-handed catch! And you can put it on the board! Highlight reel touchdown, Mike Daggs, and I'll say it for the second time tonight. Tight ends matter.
Say hey, because you know he came up with that basket catch. Look at this right here. The one-handed just scoop and in.
Whew. Put that on a highlight reel. Double coverage, spinning one-handed catch, and Mexico City takes the lead with authority. As Cole Varner is out for his first extra point try of the night. And it is up and good with 8:56 to go in the first half. Mexico City takes the lead at 7-3. And I'm still catching my breath after that catch.
Oh, that pass was actually a little bit behind him, so he had no other choice but to make that grab that way.
The SFL is sponsored by Bittrensel and Fuel. Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. Matt Doyle Designs, the official design partner of the SFL. And APM Music, Production Music Library and Custom Music House, as that kickoff is returned to the 25-yard line by Walker, and Atlanta will have a chance to respond. And, you know, if you're the home team right now, Levant, you've just given up a major play. The crowd is a little bit out of the game right now. As 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, Dunhill under center will take a 7-step drop. Throw way down the field, tipped it incomplete. Great one-on-one defense. Pablo Zamora out there to tip it away.
One of the things you don't want to do is what they just tried right there, is try to get it back all at once. Sometimes you can, but trying that sometimes, you know, gets passes that try to do too much. And right there, that could have been an easy interception for one of the most picked off quarterbacks in the league so far this season.
4 wide, 2 to each side. On 2nd and 10 and no one in the backfield. Dunhill, another 7-step drop, throws out to the far side. That pass is complete. Give him 8 yards before finally being brought down. Han Tayumi on the tackle. Also, Jack Brown was out there. BDG Hollywood actually running the out route. Had lined up as a receiver, made the catch.
There's some formations that uses the running back as a receiver. That's not uncommon.
Dunhill, another 7-step drop. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked back at the 22-yard line. This time it's Alan Romero with the sack. And it's going to force a punt on 4th and 13. And well, I asked you at the start of the drive, Levant, what do they have to do to get the crowd back into it? How about not that?
Well, so you can't just leave your fullback there by himself just on such a powerful defensive end like that. That's a recipe for defeat right there.
First punt of the night coming out from Otis Jenkins. You get the punt away, but it was close to being blocked. And here's Daggs on the return, sheds 1 tackle. And gets good field position for the Aztecs up at their own 45-yard line. And you mentioned that Dunhill, one of the most picked off players so far this season. Through 3 games, here are his stats. 795 yards, 7 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and he's been sacked 6 times. So not the greatest stats coming out from Marcus Dunhill at the start of the season. 1st and 10 for Mexico City from their own 45. Wilson, high snap, and corrals it, fires a dart out to the near side. He'll gain 5 yards, and Mike Daggs is down right at midfield. And Contrary to that, Matt Wilson on the season, 802 yards, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, been sacked 5 times.
So there's already inching. Matt Wilson is already inching close to that 1,000-yard mark on the season. Not even 4 games in.
He needs coming into the game, needs 200 yards to get to 1,000. Wilson over the middle. Oh, what a catch in traffic! Once again, trusting his receivers, and this time, K.L. Barrett cashes in.
Well, when you're slinging it like that, you know it's going to be an easy road to that 1,000. Look at this right here. He sees that Barrett has a step on him because the linebacker is actually facing away from him. So in the amount of time it takes for him to shift his weight back over, Barrett should have a step on him. That's 200 IQ play by Matt Wilson right there.
Wilson pumps, throws. Oh, it's almost picked off. He undersold his receiver. And it was almost intercepted, but just knocked to the ground.
Well, that time Fuentes just had his eyes on the receiver, but he had the presence of mind to get his hand up to deflect the pass. So he was playing the receiver more than the ball. So sometimes that's something you need to do to just make sure that sometimes an incompletion is better than a failed interception.
Second down and 10 rather at the Atlanta 32. 6:39 to go, second quarter. Wilson, quick out again right over the middle, and this time a diving catch by Montague is out of his reach. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Seems like Matt Wilson just didn't like what he was seeing immediately. Didn't change the play at the line for some reason, but the pressure or whatever he was given, he didn't like. Zipped the ball to his primary target and just left with the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and 10. 3 wide plus a tight end. Wilson, 7-step drop. He's going to throw short of the sticks, and it's dropped anyway. Couldn't hold on to it is Mika Horose. And he can't make his first catch of the game, and it's going to be are they in field goal range? It seems like they must be.
With Cole Warner, you know they probably are. But back to Hirose, this is one of those catches you just have to make. There's no excuse for that. We'll see what they do here. I do feel like it's within his range, though.
Cole Varner is out on the field, and it's going to be almost a 50-yarder. Make it 49 yards, and Cole Varner is staking his perfect record on the season on this kick right here to give Mexico City a 7-point lead. The kick is away. It's got the leg, and it's right down Main Street. 49 yards, and Cole Varner 5 for 5 on the season.
Oh man, you know his record is like a 51, 52-yarder. This should be no problem for him, and there it is, right through the uprights.
No wind here in the dome probably helped with the accuracy on that one, and Mexico takes the 10-3 lead, 6:28 to go, second quarter. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Varner kicks it away, return from the goal line, and running up to the 24-yard line is Tom Everlast. Or, I'm sorry, I called that wrong. Javen Walker actually returning kicks tonight for the Atlanta Swarm. So again, Mexico City on a very efficient drive. Atlanta a little bit on their heels here. 1st and 10 from the 24. Hollywood, or Dunhill rather, throws to the far side. That pass is complete. First down, give him 10 yards. Catch on first down, Anthony Ruckus.
Just see right here, whomever was supposed to cover him did not get off their initial receiver to, come down to assist and just let him go.
Highlighting Boo Chisholm. He's made a catch or two tonight. He's got 23 yards on 2 catches. 1st and 10 from the 36. Dunhill, plenty of time, throws over the middle. It's picked! He was trying to go into the soft zone, and it's intercepted! And Jack Brown has the pick, setting up in Atlanta territory for the Mexico City offense.
That on defense we like to call a lurk, where you're just kind of staying behind the play, and you're just spying the quarterback's eyes. And sometimes quarterback makes an obvious mistake like that. You saw Brown in the lurk, bit of a QB spy there. Spotted the ball and grabbed it with aplomb.
First interception on the season for Jack Brown, to go along with his excellent pass defense in the end zone from earlier in the game. He's having himself a very nice evening. Handoff Ray Bentley. Oh, he's got a hole, and he's got 9 yards. I'll make that 8 yards as he was driven backwards on the hit, and he's a little slow to get up.
Well, let's just be glad that he did end up getting up. But right here, you know, he just spotted the gaping hole, as you can see. That was about a 3-4 yard hole for him to run through, and he made 8 yards on that.
I think Ray Bentley will have a Aaron Lee-shaped dent in his shoulder come the morning. That was a really hard hit. 2nd and 2 now from the Atlanta 20. Wilson back to throw. Blitz coming, and he picks it up beautifully and goes down to the 6-yard line. Richard Montague has 4 catches of the night, and this one maybe his biggest so far.
You really need to have a quick release when plays break down like that. You saw the blitz coming, but, you know, if he waited a second or two longer, no one was going to be open. He threw it at the last possible second he could. He'd still get it behind the defense.
Mexico City into the SFL, presented by APM Music. Red zone, handoff. Bentley looking for a lane. Takes 2 swarm defenders to bring him down after only a gain of 2 up to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. 4 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. In the first half here, Mexico leads 10-3. And maybe a little less offense than we were expecting coming into the game, but an entertaining one nonetheless, as Mexico City looking to add to their 10-3 lead. Handoff, Bentley, he'll walk into the end zone untouched, put it on the board, touchdown Aztecs.
Sometimes I wish I had chalk, but I don't, but it's fine, because, you know, when you have the edges sealed off like they had there was absolutely nothing Atlanta can do. They were all the defenders were engaged and left an easy lane for Bentley to get through.
Now 16 pending, 17-3 on the Cole Varner extra point. And that is up and through. And now, with 4:24 to go, first half, Mexico City 17, Atlanta 3. And Lamont, what does Atlanta need to do to get back into this ballgame?
For Atlanta specifically, they're going to need to start getting into mixing up a lot more of their pass plays and start just changing their routes and their progressions. Because whatever they've been doing so far has just been to medium and short. And at this point in the game, you're going to have to start going into the part of that playbook that expands the route trees, just so that they can see where they can target Mexico City's secondary a bit better. Try to get down the field as quickly as possible.
Not the greatest return. So Atlanta having to start at their own 19-yard line here. Dunhill, empty set, back to pass, throws underneath. That pass is caught, give 4 yards to the receiver, as you see the quarterback comparison on your screen. And Matt Wilson, he's close to that 1,000 yards on the season, only needs about 50 more.
Meanwhile, it seems like Dunhill just can't get it going so far today, and that's probably just due to having to check down so much. Mexico City has been really staunch deep.
Handoff, Hollywood finds a lane and gets 6 yards. He's going to be set up a 3rd and 2 at the Atlanta 27. And I think it's still in the first half, and they've really almost abandoned the Hollywood train. Even though he's had a rough start to the season, and even though he's had a rough start to this game, he's still one of the most dynamic backs in the SFL. Dunhill on 3rd and 2, going to throw. He's going to throw to the near side, and then it's going to be incomplete. It was past the hands of Boo Chisholm.
Well, that right there was just a rocket coming out of his hands. He had a lot of zip to that pass, and it was just intended for absolutely nowhere with just... Sometimes you throw too much of a fastball and it has no control. I know that sounds like it comes from a different sport, and it does, but that's what he threw there.
And another punt coming out for Atlanta. Punt away from Otis Jenkins. It's going to be better, more good field position, rather, for Mexico City. They're going to get the ball at their own 39.
When your average starting field position is at least from your own 35 or better, that's really been the difference so far in this game for Mexico City, besides the efficient, passing offense that they've had so far today.
3 minutes, 10 seconds to go first half. Mexico City with a 17-3 lead. Wilson on first down. He'll throw out to the far side. That pass is complete. K.L. Barrett will pick up 6 yards. And Mexico City went to the semifinals last year in what Ramos Lin called a rebuilding season at the start of the season. And it turned out to be a little bit more than that.
Well, that's because the man is a mastermind, and he still has, some of his key members from that Season 9 campaign, like Wilson, Bentley, Brown.
Handoff Bentley. He's just going to shed a tackle and get a couple of yards. 3rd and 1 coming up. There you see the running back comparison. Just about even on the numbers there, but the touchdown for Bentley pushes him over the top.
On the post-progression era, Mexico City has had one of the highest, if not the highest, retention rates.
Everybody, all the players seeming to love playing for the Aztecs. Bentley on 3rd and 1. Oh, he grumbles through. First down and more, past the 50-yard line and down to the 44. And this is what I think Atlanta is missing. The running back on 3rd and short.
There's a difference between getting a stop and needing to stop. And right now they're needing stops on Bentley because he can't be.
And if you funnel too hard on Bentley, you've got a Hall of Famer sitting back there in the shotgun and a bunch of receivers that have, proven time and time again they're the best in the league. And we have reached the Quip 2-minute warning here on YouTube and simulcasting live to the Twitch front page being via SFL Blitz Live. This is the SFL Sunday night in prime time. Stay with us. 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 44 for Mexico City, looking to add more points to their lead before the half. Throw right down the middle. What a catch for a first down. Give them 10 yards in triple coverage. K.L. Barrett showing some style.
Well, when the West Coast offense is running at full cylinders, it's going to be hard to come back from this. They're going to be decimating that clock with those efficient possessions that they've been having.
Handoff Bentley up the middle, room to run, and he's going to get 10 yards and a first down to the 23-yard line at the edge of the red zone. And Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time vibrations. Brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months, and covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome, clean. 1st and 10 for Wilson and the Aztecs. He's going to throw out there to the far side. And speaking of clean, this drive has just been clean as a whistle from the Mexico City offense.
Like I was saying earlier, they've just been employing their archetype of offense to absolute perfection. They've been controlling the clock. They've been having favorable field position all game. Their passes are meeting their targets. The runs are attacking the defense. They're rolling right now.
A minute to go in the first half. Wilson going to the end zone. One-on-one coverage. Diving catch is not there. Knocked away. Good coverage by Patrick Ketza, who has the interception in the game for the Swarm. Quick chat shout-outs before we go to the halftime break. Joshua Williams, Mr. Gutty 117, Hollywood 34, I'm an effing problem, Ashley Jackson, Ace EB, and everybody else watching us on the SFL Network on YouTube tonight. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us. We greatly appreciate it. Third and less than a yard from the Atlanta 14. Wilson back to pass, short drop. He's going to flare it out to Bentley. A lot of room to run. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5, and that's where Hook be cut down. So first and goal at the 5 as the Mexico City offense goes up-tempo. With 39 seconds to go, Wilson looking, throws to Bentley again with some work to do. Can't get away from the double coverage, and Mexico City calls their first timeout. 34 seconds to go.
This just seems to be the one blight that they do have on offense, is that they haven't been, you know, the best at the red zone so far today. They've had the one interception that has come in the red zone, and they've seemed to, you know, if they're not running the ball in the red zone, it doesn't seem to be hitting its targets.
Second and goal from the Atlanta 3. There's no Bentley in the backfield here. It's going to be Wilson trying to make a throw. He's going to throw to the back of the end zone, and it's off of the hands of the intended receiver, Alan Romero.
Seems like Ed Santero was the target on that play. He seems to be the trailing receiver on the same play that he got picked off at earlier. And that time the play did reach the back of the end zone. It just didn't get into the hands of the receiver.
Bounced off of his hands, and now Wilson going to go to the same place in the end zone again, and this time it's caught for a touchdown. Put it on the board. Mexico City running away with the game. Richard Montague finds the end zone for the first time this evening, and it's a 23-3 Aztec lead.
That just had some surgical precision right there, right over the outstretched arms of the defender and into the outstretched arms of the receiver.
Cole Varner has kicked 2 extra points and added, well, pending 2 extra points. I don't know if I just jinxed him here. I certainly hope not. That would make me look bad. With 27 seconds left to go first quarter, he knocks the extra point through. Now he's made 2 extra points and added a 49-yard field goal. Just a walk in the park day for one of the top kickers in the league. It's now 24-3. Mexico City is way on top of Atlanta here in the first half. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. And now, as the kick is away from Varner, and return from 5 yards deep in the end zone and out to the 20-23 is where the returner will go down. I don't think I've gotten the returner's name correct today. It's Javon Walker returning kicks for the Atlanta Swarm. And I think at this point, Lamont, you might just want to run the ball up the middle and go to the locker room.
I don't feel like you need to. I feel like you need to at least come out of everything with points now that you're behind this much. A field goal would be fine.
Well, they've got 22 seconds and 3 timeouts. Dunhill gonna throw. Dunhill's got plenty of time to throw. Now he's under pressure. Escapes one tackler. Gets the pass away, and it's incomplete. Again, Marcus Dunhill has been dancing all over the pocket tonight, avoiding sacks like a madman, but his receivers can't make the catch.
Well, that's when you're not able to set your feet to make a pass. That's what occasionally happens. You just have these errant throws. He may be doing everything he can to save the play, but he shouldn't have to do that.
2nd and 10, 15 seconds to go in the first half. 4 wide as Dunhill throws it out to the far side. Pass is complete to Boo Chisholm. And it's going to be 8 seconds to go, and they're not going to call a timeout. Maybe they will call a timeout with 3 seconds to go and maybe take a shot at the end zone.
See, I don't understand why they just called it when they were trying to set. If you complete a play, you call a timeout. You have time to make another play, call another timeout. If you're going to go with this. Now you only have a time for 1 play where with 8 seconds left when you could have called the first timeout, you could have called 2. I don't understand this at all.
Mark Chisholm giving Marcus Dunhill, final instructions on the last play of the half. They're not even set up in the Hail Mary formation. It's an I formation with a receiver each side. And it's a handoff to Hollywood, and they're going to call another timeout with 1 second left. This happened last week, and we were very confused, and it's happened this week, and we're even more confused.
Okay, now that you've backed out of the try to get within field goal range or get a touchdown strategy, you run the ball to get to the half. Well, we're not at the half yet. Why would you call a timeout? Well, I don't understand this at all. You should just call a timeout and we're going to go to the half. You shouldn't have to call a timeout. Just go to the half.
Well, 1 second to go in the half, and they're not going to come out in a Hail Mary set either. Dunhill handoff Hollywood, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. An entertaining but somewhat one-sided first half of football. The score at the break: Mexico City 24, Atlanta 3. This is the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. We'll be back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia. Second half about to get underway here. And the Atlanta Swarm are behind the 8 ball by a wide margin. They trail the Mexico City Aztecs 24-3. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Trillo, joined in the booth by Levant Mercer. And Levant, Atlanta gets the ball first to the second half, and they got out swinging in the first, and then just, it kind of fell to pieces.
You have to give it up to the Mexico City defense for just swarming the ball like Atlanta usually would on defense, but this time it's Mexico City just getting everywhere they needed to be on defense and closing up all the running lanes and passing lanes, and really giving Marcus Dunhill a lot to do back there in the pocket. He really had to get away from some of the pressure he was getting.
First play from scrimmage is from the Atlanta 25, going left to right across your radio dial in this third quarter. Dunhill, 7-step drop. He'll throw deep down the field, and it's ought to be tipped and incomplete. It was fought for out there between Jamal Wooding, the rookie tight ends, and the safety, Pablo Zamora. They wrestled with the football, and in the end it hit the turf. Second down and 10.
You really got to give it up to Jamal Wooding for turning offense into defense real fast right there. The hard hit on Zamora couldn't be intercepted.
Second and 10. Dunhill again, a 7-step drop. Again under pressure, moves in the pocket, throws across his body, and it's almost picked off. Jack Brown almost had his second interception of the game. It was in and out of his hands.
That's one thing you never want to hear a quarterback do. Throws across his body. Now, the quarterback on the opposite side of the field here, Matt Wilson does it all the time, and shouldn't, and gets them, completed. But this time, Dunhill just can't do the same and almost got picked off by Brown again.
5 wide, 3rd and 10. Plenty of time in the pocket, throwing out there. It's picked off this time. And coming back the other way with it is an interception from Mexico City. Second pick of the game, this one courtesy of Fran Ogawa.
If the first pass this drive was, the air raid sirens, the second one was the nuclear sirens, this time the bomb actually just goes off and gets intercepted right here. This time now, they finally took the ball away after 2 errant passes by Dunhill, finally getting intercepted at the end of that sequence. And really unfortunate for the Swarm.
And that drive just sort of sums up what's been going wrong with the Atlanta offense. They're very one-dimensional. That was 3 deep passes in a row, and eventually it gets picked off, giving Mexico City great field position. Ray Bentley picks up 1 yard on first down. And let's take a look at the uniform matchups tonight. Atlanta in the home pale blue helmets, pale blue jerseys, gray pants with black and white highlights, and the road uniforms for Mexico City, green helmets, white jerseys, green pants, red and white highlights. Handoff, Bentley, left side, and he can't break the tackle, gets 1 more yard, sets up 3rd down and 8.
Now this is a very crucial 3rd down for Atlanta to get a stop here. They kept Mexico City down to a 3rd and 8, so it's a 3rd and long situation, so they're probably going to pass. So now it's up to the secondary to lock down these receivers.
Matt Wilson's been pretty clutch on 3rd down today, but a short drop. He's going to drop it short, and dropped well short of the first down is Mike Daggs. This time he can't pull off the miracle play. It's going to be 4th down and 4. And let's see if they're inside field goal range. They are, as Cole Varner trots out onto the field. It's going to be another one from almost midfield. They're standing on the logo. It's 51 yards.
It's going to match his career high if he can hit it here.
To keep this perfect season streak alive, the kick is away. It's got the distance, and it's right down Main Street. Holy cow, Cole Varner. 6 for 6 on the season.
Well, he has a cannon of a leg, and he just fired a howitzer through the uprights.
2 impressive field goals on the season, on the night for Cole Varner, and the SFL is proudly presented by MediaTek Institute. Visit MediaTekInstitute.edu for diploma programs. MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. And the return out to the 20-yard line by Daggs, wrong team, by Walker, as Atlanta tries to rebound, now down 27-3.
Unfortunately for Atlanta, they're going to have to continue trying to pass the ball deep. This is a type of deficit that you have to go into your down by 20+ scenario playbook if you're a coach. So it's going to be rough for Dunhill.
Dunhill, 7-step drop, throws short. Oh, it's off the hands of the receiver. Tico Rogers, the tight end, just bounced it off his wrist, and it flies about 10 yards downfield before hitting the turf.
Well, when you have an offensive tackle lined up in a tight end spot because you don't have enough depth in your depth chart, that's probably what's going to happen. That's
Carlos
just not
power. Oh, sorry about that.
That's fine. It's just not something that they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be protecting the quarterback.
If Carlos Powers didn't bite on potentially making the tackle, he might have had an easy interception there because the ball went right where he was. This time the pass is caught. There's a MeUndies laundry on the field out there as the catch and run after was made by Jamal Wooding. Let's see what the flag is.
Face mask, number 38.
That's a face mask against Mexico City. Fran Ogawa, who had the pick on the previous drive to set up the long field goal, this time gives Atlanta a free first down. And, you know, something like this might be a catalyst for an Atlanta team to get back into this game.
Well, there's only if there's a score at the end of the drive. But here we just have, like, I don't know where his hand went.
I didn't see it.
R62 strikes again.
This is not the Canadian Football League. You cannot challenge penalty calls, so that one's going to stand regardless. Dunhill throws it deep. One-on-one coverage picked off again. A hat trick of picks for the Mexico City defense. This time it's Jeffrey Daggs with the pick.
Well, this time Wooding just can't save the play with the hit right here. Here's Daggs right here, just, you know, the main ball hawking safety on that play gets underneath the player in front of the receiver. So that's a key for any member of the secondary, to be in front of your receiver and made the grab and didn't let the hit jar it loose. Great job by Jeffrey Daggs there.
And after a little bit of momentum goes Atlanta's way as Ray Bentley gets no yards on first down. A little bit of momentum goes the Swarm's way. It's ripped out from under them by another interception as we look at our running back numbers as they flash across your screen there. The running backs, I mean, BDG Hollywood hasn't had a carry in the second half yet, and we're almost halfway through the third quarter. Wilson throws down the middle of the field in a double coverage, and it's hauled in by K.L. Barrett. Give him 11 yards and a first down to the 40.
When you're down by 24 like Atlanta is, you wouldn't be running the ball anymore. But speaking of efficient passing, Mexico City once again is just cutting across this defense with all these slant plays, these quick outs, these unders, these drags. The checkdowns have even been working for them today. Atlanta's been looking a little lost in the sauce.
Wilson, this time he's going to be sacked. First time in the game Wilson goes down. Atlanta finally has a defensive play to work with. Shaq Barrett brings him down, and second down and 15 for Wilson and company.
That was all Barrett there. He just absolutely just swam past two offensive line members and just got to the quarterback.
But they're going to get it all back here by Bentley. Gets all those yards back and more. Picks up 7 yards. First, it's going to be third down and 8 at the Mexico City 42-yard line. And the law firm of Bentley and himself, I didn't know where I was going with that joke, but it fell flat.
Bentley. Moving on.
Save you when you need it most. I don't know. We're going to leave that joke to die. Wilson down the middle. Incomplete. This time he overthrew K.L. Barrett, and it was knocked away.
Well, you know what also tapered off at the end there was that pass. That pass just seemed to be destined for dirt, because I don't know how you would have caught that.
Well, Mexico City drive stalls for the first time in I don't know how long, and on to punt is Alex Lopez for the first time since the first quarter.
I actually can tell you they were stopped for the last time in the first quarter, halfway through.
I did notice that I just answered my own question with the back half of my sentence, and not a great return for Atlanta, and they're going to start at the their own 20-yard line. You know a game is getting good when Levant and I start throwing jabs.
Hey, you know, sometimes that happens. But you know what really needs to happen? Atlanta really needs to get going.
They need to start throwing some jabs out on the field of the offensive variety here. First down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Dunhill under center. Dunhill gonna dump it off to Hollywood, who bobbles the ball and it hits the turf. Everybody has a case of the dropsies today for the Atlanta Swarm. And Romero was hunting him down, but he never got to make the tackle.
That's just something you really can't you can't allow on offense. You have players who've just dropped balls all over the field today, so you have the dropsies. Then you also have the yips, where the quarterback just throws errant passes, and this is just all kinds of bad for Atlanta so far. They really need to get it going.
2nd and 10, Dunhill. Deep drop, deep throw. Oh, behind the defense, there he goes. 30, 20, can he be caught? Yes, he will. Down to the 7-yard line, but talking about flipping the field. Dunhill now up to 171 yards. A big chunk of them right there on that play.
And it's the unsung hero. The first half, actually, Wooding, who saved an interception earlier, now gets a big reception down the field and gets, stopped at the 10, but he really got some tough yards there where it was needed. Just chugging along here.
How about Pablo Zamora running him down, saving the tackle? And the last time the Atlanta offense was in the red zone, they were not able to put it in the end zone. But they are in the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone. First time in the second half for the blue and gray clad Atlanta Swarm. Dunhill gonna drop to throw. Gonna throw it short. Oh, and Hollywood's going the wrong way, and he's picked up and thrown to the ground. With authority, Moises Avila. That's a loss of a couple of yards. Back to the 13-yard line.
Right here, going backwards, has been punished hard with a great hit right here. Just laying down the lumber and cutting down the timber. The tree went down real hard right there. That's why you do not go backwards, folks.
Loss of 6 on the play. 2nd and goal from the 13-yard line. It seems that Atlanta can't catch a break tonight. Dunhill looks, drops it short to Hollywood again. This time he's got a burst of speed. He's going to get back to the 7-yard line, so he gains the yardage back that he lost on the previous play, but it's going to be 3rd down and goal.
Well, that's something you like to see. You always want to have a player come back after making a mistake. Get whatever yardage they lost back, or even better. As long as they come back and they bounce right back up, then everything should be okay.
5 wide. 3rd and goal from the 7. Dunhill going to have to make a play. Goes to the end zone. Touchdown. Put it on the board. Atlanta scores for the first time in this game. They get a touchdown. And maybe, just maybe, the long road back into the game begins now. Touchdown catch by Javon Walker. And Atlanta, pending the extra point, has 10 points.
That should really give some confidence back to Dunhill, who has been shaky before this drive. But a deep strike to Wooding and capitulating the drive with a touchdown should really get Atlanta back on their feet.
Extra point up and good. So with 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this evening's 3rd quarter, Mexico City 27, Atlanta 10. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube, and they've got chances here, Atlanta. And the SFL is proudly sponsored by Quip, the perfect oral care delivered. Witchard's Printworks, the official shop of the SFL. ScoreStream, the official score updates app of the SFL. And SpyGoat, the sound choice for sound reinforcement. And speaking of ScoreStream, coming up in a minute, we'll do the ScoreStream out-of-town scoreboard, get you caught up to date on everything going around the SFL tonight on a big night for the league. All games simulcasting live to the Twitch front page via SFL Blitz Live. And 1st and 10 for Mexico City from their own 28-yard line. Wilson throws to the far side. One-on-one coverage caught by Montague, but he's going backwards and he's going to lose a yard back to the 27. And everybody's stumbling a little bit here late in the 3rd quarter.
This is once again why you don't go backwards. The only time it should ever be acceptable to go backwards is if you know you can reset the entire field, come all the way around, and just make yardage that way. But that usually is not the case.
Now 2nd and 11. Wilson stands in the pocket. Plenty of time. He's just going to dump it off to Bentley. Bentley, with some work to do, gets 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 9 coming up. And the clock does run. Now under 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
This is key for Atlanta. They're going to have to get an incomplete pass here to stop the clock before the punt and keep them from getting a first down.
3:24 at the snap. Wilson looks, throws. Oh, it's caught by Daggs. Mike Daggs with another spectacular catch. It was right over the outstretched hands of the defender. And just missed an interception was Josh Vasquez.
He just seemed to attack the ball 1 second too early, and that's what happens when you overplay the ball there. And Dax has just been absolutely astounding today for Mexico City.
Just when Atlanta thinks they might get another stop, another chance to score some points, another clutch play by Matt Wilson moves the chains, and he's going to throw again. He's going to go deep again, and he's going to get another reception again down the field and down to the Atlanta 31-yard line. Big catches, Diego Chavero. Everybody getting in on the fun tonight for the Mexico City Aztecs.
Making up for his drop earlier in the game, Diego Chavero here with just all alone by his lonesome there. 24 just didn't come back with enough recovery speed to adjust for where he was. Stuck to their zone, and sticking to their zone too much had negatively impacted their ability to get to Chavero on that play.
Wilson, deep drop, steps into the pocket, and he's going to go down. Second sack of the game for the Atlanta defense. Damon Johnson makes that tackle. Loss of 8 on the play, so a big sack for Atlanta.
Well, now the key for them here is to try to stop Bentley from getting all those yards back. As you would remember on the last drive, that's what happened.
2 receivers right, single left. 4-man front with 2 linebackers for Atlanta. Wilson looks, throws down the middle of the field. There's a wide open zone down the middle, and you know who's there. Mike Daggs again down inside the red zone to the 14-yard line. And the Atlanta defense cannot catch a break tonight.
Well, you just know when someone has 7 catches, 7 targets, 93 yards, and hasn't dropped the ball yet, you know Matt Wilson's going to trust Mike Daggs to make that catch.
Plus a top player of the week nominee touchdown.
Let's not forget that.
Bentley hasn't had the greatest of nights, but he's done what he's needed to do. He picks up a yard, gets down to the 12-yard line. Fuentes makes the tackle on the safety blitz.
Has not looked the same since Season 9. He's had a bit of a down Season 10 here, and 11 didn't seem to be too different from 10, but he's still one of those dangers that Mexico City can present out of the backfield.
And he has a touchdown tonight. Let's not forget. 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. Touchdown! Oh, my goodness! Richard Montague, out of nowhere, fights through 3 defenders, put it on the board. Mexico City has surpassed 30 points on the night.
Just gets right through with some aggressive pushing right there. He just muscles those defenders into the red end zone with him for the score.
And if I sounded surprised, well, I was genuinely surprised that Montague was able to muscle his way into the end zone, but you know, he's a fifth season veteran of the league, and I don't think I should be much surprised anymore as the extra point is up and good. 53 seconds to go, third quarter. It's Mexico City 34, Atlanta 10. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us, and it's now time for the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream. Earlier this week, on Friday night, Indianapolis picked up their first win of the season, 48-14 over the London Knights, and Alaska took their revenge on Sioux Falls after losing earlier this season, 34-14. Going on right now, Denver, looking to stay 4-0, unbeaten on the season, is up 21-6 on Dallas in the third quarter. Mexico City's up 34-10 late in the third. Tallahassee is all over Las Vegas, 31-6, start of the fourth quarter. As handoff, BDG Hollywood, he'll get 4 yards and he's brought down. And a couple of more scores to tell you about. Chicago up on New Orleans 14-6 third quarter. Oklahoma City is up 24-19 over San Francisco. They are also late in the third quarter, and there's more SFL action this week on Monday night. Queen City hosts Carolina, Houston hosts Vancouver, and St. Louis hosts Tulsa. 2nd down and 6. Handoff, Hollywood, left side, and he may have had a blocker out there, but it was not there for very long as Carlos Powers makes the hit. Loss of 1 on the play, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's all Mexico City right now, 34-10 over the Swarm. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. Starting the fourth quarter tonight with a 3rd down and 7. Dunhill going long, one-on-one coverage, caught by Falco, down the sideline, tackled across midfield. Pablo Zamora had to bring down and have another touchdown-saving tackle as Siege Falco finally broke free after one-on-one coverage.
That right there is just another just key play for Atlanta here early in the fourth that they really needed out of, the siege and destroy engine that they have in Siege Falco there. If he does not, make that grab and drops it like they have been earlier in the game, this would not have been a good spot for them.
Handoff, Hollywood, he'll get 5 yards, and that's the one little bit of consistency they've had, as BDG Hollywood has almost 4 yards a carry, but they just haven't had the chance to use him tonight because they've been down for so much of the game.
Well, this time now being down by 24, not really the time to really go to the running game.
10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Dunhill back to pass on 2nd and 5, goes to the near side. Boo Chisholm hauls it in for a 3-yard gain. 3rd down and 2 coming up. And let's do some quick chat shout-outs. Joshua Williams, Ace Ebb, Ashley Jackson, Pure 2K12, Siege Falco, Hollywood 34, I'm an effing problem, Mr. Gutty 117, and everybody else watching us on the SFL Network on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It's 3rd down and 2. BDG Hollywood is in the backfield. Will they go to him here on 3rd and short? They didn't earlier in the game, and it cost him. And they're going to throw it again. Dunhill, he's going to look to the end zone, and he's going to find his receiver. Put it on the board. Jamal Wooding finally gets his touchdown.
Well, after being denied on the last drive, he finally gets his just desserts here. Once again, cutting across the seam all alone. Makes a great cut on the post corner route there. No safety was there. No one was there. And it's an easy score for the Swarm.
Nobody picked up Wooding, and it was up to Jeffrey Daggs to try and run him down from the free safety spot. He couldn't get there in time, and Atlanta has now scored touchdowns on consecutive drives. As the kick from Alex Kidd is up and through. It is now Atlanta 17, Mexico City 34. 9 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the ball game. And give credit to the crowd here at the Hive. They've mostly stayed put in their seats to watch their team play. And a little bit of noise here for the first time in a while ripples through the stadium.
Yeah, it's been silent for the past 2 quarters and a half since they've been having that deep deficit, but that score has really energized the crowd here.
Daggs brings it up to the 29-yard line, and if you're Mexico City, is it just run out the clock time?
You do understand you just let Atlanta score twice. You gotta keep putting the pressure. You gotta keep them away from that comeback as much as you can.
Matt Wilson on first down. He'll throw from his own 29-yard line. Plenty of time in the pocket. Goes to the far side, and the pass is knocked away. It was intended for K.L. Barrett. And he could not win the one-on-one battle that time. And bringing up something that we talked about from the top of the broadcast, Matt Wilson right now, 302 yards for the ball game. That puts him over the number needed to break 1,000 on the year by about 100 or so. So he's got 1,100 yards on the season and counting as of this point in the ball game. Congratulations to Matt Wilson. And also, with his 3 touchdown passes today, has surpassed his touchdown pass total from the entirety of last season as Ray Bentley trucks forward for no gain. He was stopped on the play there by Bushido Brown.
Just seems like they had a bit of a stretch round run play to the outside. One of the guards did not get to the cutback man fast enough, and he made the tackle on the play.
Wilson back to throw, 3rd and 10, under pressure hit as he throws. It's a wobbly ball, and it's tipped and intercepted. Second pick of the game for the Atlanta defense, and this time it's Pat Ketza. He grabs his, or no, it's not Patrick Ketza. I was mistaken.
As we see here, just a bobbled ball and right into the hands
of Josh Vasquez.
Yes.
I thought it was Ketza. He was in the area, along with Aaron Lee and Vasquez, who eventually made the pick. Vasquez gets his 2nd pick of the season. He had one against Vancouver all the way back in week 1. And Atlanta, after scoring, quickly gets the ball back via the turnover. Dunhill throws to the far side, and room to run for Falco. He'll pick up 7 yards on first down. Tackled inbounds, though, so clock runs. Updated quarterback comparison yardage. You know, it hasn't been the cleanest game from either quarterback, has it?
No, but sometimes it's games like this that you really just gotta give it up to the defense for making it hard for them to pass on.
Hand off Hollywood, give him a first down to the Mexico City 40-yard line and a 5-yard gain. As the clock continues to roll down, it's going to be under 8 minutes.
You really have to manage your usage of the running game. Even though you haven't used it all day, you don't want to kill too much of the clock being behind as much as they are.
Offset eye, single receiver each side. Dunhill under center, hands off, strong side to Hollywood, who spin moves, breaks the tackle, and gets 4 yards. As the clock continues to roll, 7:41 to go and counting now. And Hollywood hasn't played a big role tonight due to the deficit that Atlanta has found themselves in for most of the game. But when he has touched the ball, he's looked pretty good. 2nd and 6. Dunhill back to pass. Pressure from the backside. He gets the pass away, and it's picked off. 4th interception of the game for Mexico City, and the 2nd one for Pablo Zamora.
He just sets back. As soon as he sets his foot, he gets it cocked and ready to throw, but he undersells his receiver and into the hands of the everyman safety, Pablo Zamora, who has been everywhere today.
Dunhill was looking for Jamal Wooding, who's been the star tonight for the Atlanta offense, but he could not find him. And Mexico City takes possession again. Wilson down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete this time. K.L. Barrett was being hung on to by Josh Vasquez, and he knocked the ball away.
Sometimes you get away with holding on to receivers like that because it's part of the play. You're playing the receiver. The ball's already out. It doesn't count as interference.
2nd and 10. Wilson under center, handoff Bentley. He shakes a tackle and gets in the open field and gets 12 yards. And a first down to the Mexico City 27. This is what Ray Bentley can do, making plays from seemingly nowhere.
Kind of overran his blockers there, as you see where they were, and he just didn't really necessarily care for that. Ray Bentley's a very, free, easygoing guy, so he just does what he does and gets the first down anyway.
First and 10 from the Mexico City 27. Wilson. 2 men in the backfield with him, a receiver each side. He's going to throw. He's going to throw down the middle of the field, and it's picked off. He undersold his receiver. They're trading picks like baseball cards, and Lee Pado picks up an interception.
Well, that right there was a trade they didn't want to make, but straight into the hands of Lee Pado right here. That's just very unfortunate, but in the SFL, you cannot underthrow receivers. You will get punished for it.
That's the second interception of the season for Pado. Had one last week in Atlanta's 24-20 win over Carolina. Handoff. Hollywood gets 3 yards. Updated running back numbers. And they're very close. I was kind of surprised. Only about 20 yards in it between the running backs.
And part of that difference, once again, goes back to the deficit being as it is, and Dunhill being forced to throw a little more often than he needs to.
Dunhill, plenty of time to throw, goes to the end zone. He's going to be caught, and it's going to be short of the end zone, but down to the 8-yard line nonetheless. Siege Falco picks up another big catch.
Once again, just, this time the ball was a little high, but when he gets his jets going like that, it doesn't matter. He was so far ahead of the play that, it didn't really affect the fact that he was open. He was open by a country mile. Even though he didn't get the touchdown on the play, he was still open enough to make the grab, and that's what's important.
Yeah, throw was a little behind him. If it was right to his hands, he probably would have been in the end zone. Here's Hollywood up the middle, breaks one tackle, gets down to the 4-yard line. Remember, Hollywood looking for his first rushing touchdown of the season. He was denied by a review in the first quarter. And think about how different this game might have been if Hollywood would have scored on the first drive and put Mexico City down 7-0, in the first 5 minutes of the ball game. But can't really think about that now, as we've got just over 5 minutes left to go here from Atlanta. Dunhill looks to throw. Dunhill pressure. Dunhill tries to escape, but down he goes. Another sack for Mexico City defense. Mauricio Zitza picks up his second sack of the game. Or sorry, that's Romero on the tackle, Alan Romero.
Well, all 4 members of the Mexico City defensive line have contributed something today.
3rd and goal from the 10 to the end zone, knocked away. Fantastic defensive performance again for the Mexico City defense. Han Tuyumi, haven't called his name much tonight. The rookie's mostly been on an island against Siege Falco, but that time he comes up big, prevents the touchdown, and forces the extra point unit onto the field unless Atlanta decides to stick with the offense here. We'll see what they want to do, and the kicking unit is out. Alex Kidd going to try to attempt his second field goal of the game.
I think this is mildly okay. It puts them within 2 possessions. They only need 2 scores after this.
Kick is up and right down Main Street from 26 yards. Mexico City's lead has dwindled somewhat here in the 4th quarter. It's 34-20. Only a 14-point game, you're right. A 2-touchdown game. Would still be a minor miracle for the Swarm to come back into this one, but we'll see how it goes. Wilson throws another pick. Oh, here's an onside kick. Wasn't expecting that. It's easily picked up by the Mexico City Aztecs. Misa Hirose was there to grab it, and what do you think about that call, Levant? Too early?
It was a nice cheeky little attempt there, but they just didn't execute. But now they really put themselves in a bad spot, giving Mexico City this much field position. So yeah, I would think so, yes.
Hand off Bentley. He breaks one tackle and gets 5 yards. It takes 2 to 3 people every time Bentley touches the ball to bring him down. One of the main reasons he's averaging 4.3 yards a carry, and he pretty much averages that every game.
And out of your back, that's more than serviceable. I mean, even if he hasn't matched his season 9 production, doesn't really matter. If you get serviceable games out of your back every time, you should still be winning games.
2nd and 5 from the Atlanta 35. Any type of score here from Mexico City will probably put this game out of reach as Bentley gets the ball again and carries 2 defenders for a first down to the 29, and now they're solidly in field goal range. 3:50 and counting to go in the game, and Bentley has back-to-back runs of 5+ yards.
That's right there. They just couldn't get anyone over to the containment on that. Right there, that's the ever scroll block of the game, as you see that if that block wasn't made, there would be no hole for Bentley to run through.
It is indeed the Everscroll block of the game. Everscroll by Movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them and see every moment by using the promo code SimulationFL at checkout from Movement.com. A portion of your purchase supports the XFL through our partnership Movement. Premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. And look out, Matt Wilson did not have Movement accessories to protect him from the oncoming blitz, and he takes a sack.
No, I think he needed some sunglasses to see that one. There was no way that he could have evaded that.
We have our first final of the evening session here in the SFL as the Tallahassee Pride finalize their win over the Las Vegas Fury. Final score 31-20. 2nd and 15, handoff, Bentley up the middle, being dragged from behind. He's going to get 6 yards back to the 28-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 9. Bentley almost to 100 yards, and with Mexico City just running out the clock here the final 2 minutes and 20 seconds, he'll probably get to 100 rushing yards on the game.
At this point, that should be what they should strive to do, force Atlanta to use these timeouts and just take them home.
They might not call another play until the 2-minute warning. Clock ticks down 2-1, and there is the quip 2-minute warning of the second half. As you see Ramos Lynn looking on there from the sideline, he's got to be pretty happy with his team's performance today, as we've got 2 minutes left to go. Mexico City 34, Atlanta 20. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Bentley on 3rd and 9. He's going to be stopped up and dropped for a loss of 1. Atlanta calls their first timeout, and on will probably come Cole Varner to try and make it 3 for 3 on the night. This will be the shortest field goal he will have attempted on the night.
Yeah, he hit one from 49 and 51 earlier.
So this 44-yard field goal should be a walk in the park. Varner now 6 for 6 on the season after 2 completions today. Trying to go 3 for 3. His kick is on the way, and it is right down Main Street from 44. And, you know, when Cole Varner is kicking, you know, anywhere is a chip shot, it seems.
I mean, he's shown it today. Hit one from 44, setting extra points from up close. 49, 51 earlier, matching his career high. Seems so.
Now, new score, Mexico 37, Atlanta 20, 1:53 to go in the ball game, and it's safe to say that may have just been the final nail in the coffin to Atlanta's chances of getting back to 500 as Jeffrey Daggs makes the tackle on that return. Not really a standout evening for either return man, Javon Walker, nor Jeffrey Daggs. Nobody's really gotten you know, monstrous runs off of the returns. Some decent field position for Mexico City and some average field position for Atlanta. Here's 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line for the Swarm, a minute 47 to go. Dunhill crossed the middle on a slant pattern. That pass is complete for 9 yards. Siege Falco picks it up, and here comes the up-tempo offense. Dunhill alone to the backfield. He'll set. He'll throw underneath. That pass is complete to the middle of the field. Falco again makes the catch. Minute 26 to go and counting as all the blue shirts run back to the line. 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 40. Dunhill throws deep down the field. Diving attempt is knocked away. It was in and out of the hands of Boo Chisholm, and that would have been a highlight reel catch had he hung on.
Yeah, 2 defenders, 1 on each side. They could have got their hand on the ball there. It's pretty tough to get through there.
A big question here for you, Levon, and I'll ask it coming up after this 2nd and 10 from the Atlanta 40. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left, 5 wide formation. Dunhill throws deep down the field, caught by Falco. There he goes, breaks a tackle at the 30, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Touchdown Atlanta, and I will not be getting to my point that I wanted to make earlier because Siege Falco just styled all over the Mexico City defense.
Well, that's your answer right there. That's what they really needed to do. I don't know what the question was, but Falco had an answer for you, and it's a touchdown. Shredding off a tackle there and just putting on the Jets.
60 yards for the score for Siege Falco to make it a 10-point game with 1:09 to go. Atlanta still has 2 timeouts here. So the upcoming onside kick will be really, really important. Once again, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Michael Trillo. Levant Mercer has been joining me in the booth for this one. It's been a fun game as we set up for this onside kick, which will pretty much decide the fate of this here ball game. Alex Kidd to kick. Kidd spins it down to the 40. It's dove for and recovered by Mexico City. It was close, but Jamie Hernandez picked it up. And the SFL is proudly sponsored by nobody in particular, I suppose. As the graphic goes away and Mexico City takes control of the ball at the Atlanta 39.
Might be something forthcoming based on that, but it doesn't seem so with this victory formation.
Minute 7 to go, 2 timeouts. Mexico City sideline has done the math correctly, and they will get out of here with the win. So I'll finally get around to asking you that question I was going to before Siege Falco made that very nice touchdown grab on the previous series. There are a lot of people deserving tonight, Levant. Who would you give player of the game to?
It has to be Mike Daggs, doesn't it?
Now, are you just saying that because he's our boss at the broadcast team?
No. Who caught all those touchdowns? Who made really big plays for this Mexico City offense? Of course, Matt Wilson was the one that threw the ball, but like that one-handed grab, I think sways me in the direction of Daggs here.
I am almost inclined to agree with you. It's got to be between Mike Daggs and Cale Barrett, and I'm going to give it to Daggs as the kneel comes out. They didn't really do the math right. They're 4th and 15. They're going to have to either punt it away or do something with it. They could go for a 50-plus yard field goal. No, they're going to punt it away.
No, punt it away. Okay. I would have liked to see the kick here just because Varner could.
He probably could, but I think that Ramos Lynn has called off the dogs tonight, and his team's going to go back to Mexico City with the 3 points, as they'd say, and the other kind of football as that punt rolls into the end zone from Lopez, and usually we chastise punters for doing that, but I don't think it matters at this point.
I don't think it does. At this point, you just punted because you had to, not because you needed to. That's the difference.
Jamal Wooding in the chat says Richard Montague he thinks will win it. Montague had 2 touchdowns on the night. One last heave for the end zone, and it's... Well, they're going to go with a short pattern, actually. Complete to Siege Falco. They're going to go up-tempo. Atlanta's out of timeouts. They're going to get one more snap off here. 5 seconds to go. They spike it. And they're probably close enough to take some sort of shot to the end zone and salvage a bit of decency. And to be fair to Atlanta, they have won the fourth quarter by a wide margin. They came out and saved some face. Made this game look a lot closer than it probably actually was.
That might have been the case, but you never want to hear that if you're Atlanta. You just want to come out more competitive in the early stages of the game.
5 seconds to go now. This will be the last play of the game. Let's take a look at... And it's deep down the field and incomplete. There is actually 1 second to go. We're going to get another play, which allows me to talk about where these teams are going next. Next week, Mexico City is back home at Estadio Azteca. They take on the Carolina Skyhawks. It's the first rematch of the season. They beat Carolina earlier this year. The Skyhawks struggling a little bit out of the gate. And next week, Atlanta, they'll be home again as they face the Queen City Corsairs, the league's most dominant franchise in history, Dunhill. On the last play of the game, no time on the clock. He'll fire it deep down the field, and it's knocked away, and the clock hits 0. Mexico City Aztecs take the win over the Atlanta Swarm. The final score, 37-27. Stats and highlights scrolling across your screen. Levant, final thoughts on this one?
Well, the accurate passing of Matt Wilson and the absolute beautiful acrobatic catches by Daggs, Barrett, and Montague really made the difference. Also, for Atlanta, they just couldn't get the passing game going. When you throw into double and triple coverage like Dunhill has, it was almost reminiscent of the Vancouver game, where he just couldn't find any avenue to throw the ball in, because no matter what side of the field he decided to throw the ball to, it just got taken away from him. He was under a lot of pressure all game, took a lot of sacks, threw a lot of incompletions because he was hurried, and in the end, the combination of a staunch defense by Mexico City and just an extremely efficient offense really changed the game for Mexico City and won them the game.
Once again, Mexico City moves to 3-1 on the year with a 37-27 victory over the Atlanta Swarm. They drop to 1-3. That'll do it from us here in the booth. For Lee Pato on stats, Mike Daggs in the production truck, Cameron Irvine, who's running the whole SFL Blitz thing over on Twitch. We hope that show has gone well for him tonight. For Levant Mercer, I have been Michael Cirillo, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.